everybody. Alright, let's get started with this Echo Park Dog's Tale collection, along with these sheets of authentic paper. Sandy Beach 1, Crocodile Smile 1, and Silver Dollar 2. And I also have the sticker sheets, so let's get started. I'm excited. I have an idea. Let's see if it works. Okay, so first we're going to make our covers as normal. And we're going to do this. Let's do an 8x8 with a 2-inch spine. So for your chipboard, 2 8x8s, 1 2x8. This book's going to have 8 pages with a 1/4-inch gusset, and there's going to be 4 different page designs. Okay, and now we're done with my chipboard cutter here. Let's look for the paper that we want for the cover. Oh, I like that. I try to stay away from paper that has lines in it for my cover, though, because it has lines in it and you can tell if it's crooked. I love this paper. Ooh, decisions. I don't know what these can be. Oh, let's see here. Okay, let's do this, and this, and then another piece that's matches fine, so this is fine, and then one is different, one is that. Okay, so there's my cover, and then we get the cover. So this is the cover, but let's see that goes here. So, alright, so this is my cover. Okay, and then we're going to use stickers. So, here's my cover. And I'm going to cut the spine first. going to be $11. Well, we'll make it 12 because the sides don't matter. By I cut my book exactly at 8, so we gotta go 7 3/4. 12 by 7 3/4. And this is going to be a hidden hinge, like always, with a bit of a twist. So the first thing we're gonna do is get our scoreboard out. I think I could have made my life easier by making the book a little bigger, like 8 1/4 or something like that. But that's all right. All right. So let's score then at 1 1/2, and then 2. Whoops. And 2, 2 1/2. So those are at a 1/2 inch each, and then go to 1/4, and then go back to a 1/2 inch each. So that's 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, 4, 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/4, 5 3/4, 6 1/4, and then back to a 1/4 inch gusset. So that's 6 1/2, and then 7, 7 1/2, back to a 1/4 inch, 7 3/4, 8 1/4, 8 3/4, 9, 9 1/2, 10. Now I count 1, 2, 3. I'm counting the spaces between the 1/2 inch. 4, 5, 6, 7. I want 8, so we need one more. 10 1/4. 10 3/4, and 11 1/4. I don't have a whole bunch. I don't have very much gusset over here, but that's okay. I could have made this 3/4 and made that less. So, but this would be enough. This is about an inch, right? 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to glue that down, and then I'll have paper over it with adhesive on it. So I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Okay, now for the anomaly here that I'm trying to do. As I don't know it's going to work, but we're going to try it anyways. I'm going to bring my cutter over so you guys can see this. Okay, so there we go. So this is right now 7 3/4 of an inch, and I want my pages to be tapered, smaller in the front and bigger in the back. So I'm going to try to cut this at an angle, and what I want, and it's not going to fit on my cutter, so we're going to have to do this freehand. We're going to do this. So much for the cutter. You put 12-inch paper diagonally, it's longer. Okay, so that's alright. We got this. So I'll just do it on the back. So this is 7 3/4. So I get my calculator out so I can figure this out. So 7 3/4 divided by 2, so 3 5/8. Is in the middle. 3 5/8 is 1 doogie past the 1/2. So I want 2 inches on either side of that. So that would be 1 7/8, which is 1 doogie before the 2. And 5 7/8. That's right. 1 doogie before the 6. Okay. So I want my first page to be that big, but I want it that big at the, actually I want it that big over here, because this is the biggest part of the hinge, so that's the part that I want to be 4 inches. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the second gusset here is where I'm going to cut to 4 inches. And then I want my last page to be 7 3/4. Yeah, 7 3/4. So that I'm gonna go there. So from this point, at the 4-inch mark that you made, which I guess I could tell you guys what that is. It is at 1 7/8 down and 5 7/8 down. So mark on your second 1/2 inch hinge 1 7/8 there, and 5 7/8, and that's 4 inches. Okay, now from that line to your last hinge here, you're going to draw a straight line, and we are going to taper our pages accordingly. Whoop, I missed. Here we go. This is on the back of the hinge, so is it going to be on the back of the hinge? I don't know. We may have to erase it, which is fine. We don't have to erase it, it's all going to be hidden. Most of it. Okay, so that's what our pages are going to look like. And we gotta finish drawing the line so we can cut it. Here we go. And I got an X-Acto knife sitting here with no cover on it. That's safe. I don't have any small children, but still, I could cut myself easily. And just cut along. It's not gonna hurt anything if you're not exact. We're gonna measure each page before we make them anyways. I don't want that to be somewhat straight. There's that. This is exciting, guys. I've never done this before. Let's see here. Alright. Looks good to me. Oh, I found my lid. Alright. Now, we do what we always do with our hinge, and that's fold it at the 1/2 inch lines. This is crooked. And then up. I always just take the 1/2 inch lines and pinch them to get my gussets going the right way. I'm going to have to erase this here. Okay, there's that. And then on each of the 1/2 inch
every other 1/2 inch line. I'm just going to put a piece of 1/4 inch score tape. And you want to put it on the smaller one because the bigger one may have a little bit showing. So just cover the smaller 1/2 inch gusset on each pair. And then we'll call this, what should we call this? I don't know. I'm horrible with names. Variable page mini. How about that? Well, that sounds fancy. I like it so far. Isn't that going to be neat, having all your pages different sizes? I think it will be. There's the hinge, and then cover the rest of the back of it with score tape. Right here. Just like this. Well, I'm going to have to use 1/4 inch score tape here because of the way that goes down. Okay. Make sure you only tape the part that hits the book, because when it's folded down like this, you're alright, well, we're ready then. Okay, so let's do 2 pieces of white cardstock, 10 by 12 and a 10 by 10.5 for the cover, and I'm going to overlap those at 8.5. So get my 1/4 score tape. Yeah. I'll put one on this side. I should measure. And then on this side, actually let's put it on this side since I wrote all over that. Okay, and then so if we overlap these at 8.5, it's going to be right there. So I just tape from that point to the spine. And the same up here. And that'll just give me a layer of tape all the way around where we're going to overlap these. And then this piece is going to be here, so I'm just going to put one piece a 1/2 inch just for good measure right in the middle of that. About right there. Okay. Now, I'll move these for a minute. The way that I line up my covers is, or I guess my cover cardstock, is by using my gridded board here. My cutting, oops, my craft mat, my cutting board. Okay. Here I'll use this one on the bottom. There we go. And then I'm gonna line up. I lined up like where I want my other page to go on these 2 lines. So just line that up top and bottom. And then stick. Okay, now when we put our pages in, we should have about 1 inch on all sides. Alright, I like it. Alright, so I'll take my 1/2 inch score tape and go all the way around the covers. Oops. And for the insides of the covers here, you can use ATG tape. You can use spray adhesive. I like the spray adhesive, but I don't know that I'm going to get it out. You just want it so that your cover doesn't bubble up. But you can use a glue stick. Just something to keep your, whoops. Just something to keep your paper stuck to the cover. When you are using your ATG on chipboard like this, you kind of gotta go slow because it can like pull it up. So I guess I should have finished the rest of them. That's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put this down since I've already got it all sticky. It's like Sunday, you guys, and I have like the whole day free. So excited. So I'm just kind of lining it up with my grid lines on my board. Trying to keep it straight. And then I'm going to put a piece of 1/4 inch score tape here. I'll reinforce the spine a bit. Plus it'll give me a 1/4 inch measurement between my covers and my spine piece, as long as I put it on straight. There we go. Just put an extra piece of this in the middle of the spine. Okay. Go ahead and take that off, and then I'll put a piece of 1/4 inch at the top and bottom. Alright, now I'm using this 1/4 inch score tape and just lining it up with this other cover. I'm going to add another piece of 1/4 inch score tape on this side. And I'm going to do the same with this cover as I did with the front cover. Just add some sticky. You want to make sure that there's nothing textured under there though. Like no balls of ATG or glue or whatever. You can use wet glue on it. Sometimes wet glue makes your paper soggy. If you use wet glue, you want to spread it out with whatever. Use credit card or whatever you use to spread it out with. Okay, cover's almost done. And voila. I'm going to use my 1/2 inch score tape to go all the way around. Close to the edge. Probably need more right there. I'm cutting at an angle, so I won't need it all the way around, but I think I'm gonna need more here and more here. I'm running low on 1/2 inch score tape, so and then I'm going to take this piece of 1/4 inch score tape and go around the inside. I will do the inside here, but not yet. Right now I just want my covers on. Because with the spine that we made, I have to cover the entire inside. Score tape goes fast, doesn't it? Especially the 1/2 inch. I try to use the 1/4 inch as much as I can. Okay, let's do some mitering of the corners, leaving an 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch. I'm not a big corner stickler myself. It doesn't bother me that much if it's not perfect. And then I just use the covers to fold my book over. And if we did the covers right, the middle of the spine is where your crease or your fold shows up on the outside. So sometimes I put a charm there so that, you know, it draws tension away from it. But so let's get rid of this here. These 2 pieces in here next to the spine, because it's a bear to get those out later. And then one side at a time. We'll do the bottom. I've got to do the sides here because I'm going to overlap them. I'll just pull that up halfway. Come on. There we go. Bottom. Alright, now I fold that over. A nice good push. I like to give my spine a crease there. Get on the outside. Just fold that over the same way. If you're working on white cardstock, just make sure your work surface is clean. I try to avoid white cardstock for that reason. But I made the music Stamperia mini album and I did it, so I'm confident. Hopefully I can do another white album without getting it too schmutzed up. Okay, and then one on the bottom. Alright, there is the spine. Now, I need to cover the inside from here to here with paper, because when I put this spine in, why is this spine so big? Just enough to go over the spine and then a little bit on each side. I'm going to go on the outside with my 1/2" score tape. And then I'm going to go with my 1/4" score tape on each side of the spine here. Don't go all the way because you'll have an 1/8" at the top and bottom. So I just kind of stick to where the chipboard is and don't go up on the paper that much. And that'll be plenty because we did the entire outside of this. So, and then we'll put some decorative paper on there later with some scraps. So don't worry about it being plain white on plain white. We'll fix it. And I don't want that big goober there, and I'm not going to be able to get rid of it besides cutting it off there. Okay. And this is just place an 1/8" from the bottom and top. There we go, and then crease on the inside here on either side of the spine. Paper is flexible, you guys. Alright, and then I am also going to go ahead and attach the spine. When attaching the spine, all you really gotta do is keep your hinges in the middle and keep your top and bottom as straight as possible. It's a little hard to tell with this one, but then again, it's tapered pages, so if you get it off just a little bit, it's not going to matter because your pages aren't going to line up when you open the book. So it's a bit forgiving. Ugh. Alright. That's 2 more pieces of tape, yay. That and that. Make sure the hinge doesn't stick to itself. And then I'm going to line up this hinge here, this long one, with the top and bottom of that piece of paper I just stuck on, and with the creases from the spine. And then the rest of it just needs to be bunched up right behind it. Oh, I'm excited, you guys. It's working. Yay. Look at that. I'm excited. You guys excited? Yay. Look at that. It worked. Okay, I got some extra tape here. We're going to get it off. And then I have my pencil lines on here. I'm going to erase those. So, okay, so now we got our super cool thing here. And let's go ahead and cover this. Measurements, just in case. We have approximately 8 by 8, so let's do 7 7/8 by 7 7/8 on the inside. And I picked these 2 papers for the inside covers, but yeah, let's stick with that. So I'm going to cut these down 7 7/8 square. You do not have to cut your papers right away for your inside covers, but remember, set them aside if you don't. Okay, there's my inside covers. I think I'm going to put the busy pattern on the back and then the kind of subtle one on the front. Put a little extra ATG on the front covers. One, because the chipboard is textured, and 2 is because I want it to hold on a little bit longer. What I am going to do is on the spine side, I'm going to add some score tape. Just because that's reinforcing the spine here. Oops. And that's not the spine side. I did it upside down. So no, it's going to be on 2 sides. I'm going to line these up on the outside edge. And then the same with this one. I only need it on the inside. I have a sunny day here, wreaking havoc on my lighting. Okay. And we're going to line this up with the outside again. Alright, let's go ahead and do the inside, or the outside. Double check the measurements. The outside is about 8 1/8 by 8. So let's cut it at 8. Biscuits on the front or plaid on the front. I think I'm going to use this and then maybe embellish a little. So I'm going to do 8 and 7 7/8. I may have to trim. Yeah, I think I'm going to trim 8 inches off. So 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. Same with this paper. Okay, that'll be the back, and then the spine is going to be 2. I'm going to cut the paper at 2 by 7 7/8. And let's make that I'm going to make that out of this plain. Okay, and there's the cover. Put a little extra on there. Lining it up with the outside edge. Leaving about a 1/16 of an inch. Nice and clean. Okay, and then the spine. I don't want to add an extra piece of paper because I already have, like by wrapping around the spine, because I already have the extra layer in there from the hinge. So we'll just do something to decorate it. And I put that on crooked. Okay. Lining up with top and bottom. There's lots of stickers to decorate it with, but let's just go to the first page here. I have my little page map. I got a book to put my page maps in. Okay. So let's do some measurements here. I have everything cut for, we're going to start with the biggest page because when we cut our pattern paper, we want to go from biggest to smallest.